away, take it away. Feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where
Hey friends, it's Josie and welcome back to my channel. So it is so beautiful outside. I had to come out here and film a little bit of a video just because it feels so amazing. I've been waiting for this weather for so long. It just feels really great out here. I think it might be in the 70s degrees. In the morning times, it's still a little bit chilly, but it's above freezing. But in the afternoon time, it feels really nice. And I'm so happy because this is my kind of weather. This is when I like to be outside instead of, the cold. I don't like the cold whatsoever. So I am out here in the garden. There isn't much going on besides my broccoli is growing. My blueberry bushes are doing better. They're starting to put little buds on, like they're trying to start doing their thing, like grow, like more stems or leaves or something. And then it's getting ready for me to be time to plant my brassicas, like my cooler weather stuff. I need to go ahead and get those in. I think I might go ahead and put those in maybe this evening or something like that, just so they can be out of there. And then when I put them in, they need to be fertilized. So whenever I put them in, then I'll probably come right back and fertilize them a little bit so that they can have that extra boost whenever I move them out here and be able to do well. Some of my beds, I still need to add some compost and stuff too, but I'm not worried about that right now because I added compost to these two beds, so they are fine. But since it is the time where you want to go ahead and start planting your, starting your seeds, it's also a good time to think about why you are gardening. The why will tell you what you need to garden and when you need to plant it and things like that. So, for example, my why is I want to be able to try my best to cut some costs out from the grocery store. As everybody knows right now, the grocery store is getting very expensive. My grocery bill probably has went up probably about 25%, especially since I only, I make a lot of my stuff homemade. So it hasn't went up like as much as some people's, but then we also have eggs from the chickens, so that helps a lot too. But I want to try my best to grow and preserve as much food as I can. My goal is to try to preserve enough tomato-based products where I don't have to need them again until the next time I need to plant tomatoes. So I want to do that. I'm wanting to try to put up a bunch of stuff that we use. Like, one good thing to do is to go, whenever you go to the store, see what all you're purchasing on a regular basis, maybe like each month. What are you purchasing that month? And see if that's something that you're purchasing that you can grow in the garden. And if so, then that's the one thing you need to add to be able to grow so that you can cut that out of your budget for the grocery store, and then you'll be able to grow it instead of buying it, which is a really good option. So with that being said, we use a lot of bell peppers, we use a lot of broccoli, and things like that. So that's one thing. That's another thing that I want to focus on, are those things. So with the bell peppers, I can freeze them, I can use them fresh, I can dehydrate them and things like that. Same with broccoli, I can freeze it and eat it for fresh eating or ferment it or anything like that I can do. And that will help my grocery budget later on when it is time for me to grocery shop. So that is one thing I really want to focus on, is those couple of things. So it's just a handful of things that I'm really trying to grow as much as I can. I'm going to be succession planting those things and trying to get the most that I can in this growing season that I have, to be able to cut that out of my grocery budget where I don't have to buy that stuff. But also, as you see in another video I made, I'm also growing some things that I want to grow, that I enjoy growing, like the different color stuff, or the uniquely shaped things, because that brings me joy in the garden. And I don't want the garden to just get to a point where it's just work for me, just to try to provide as much as I can to my family, which, yes, that I love to do that. I want to do that. I want to be able to do that, but I also want it to be fun for me as well. So that part of that fun and me coming out here and wanting to be in the garden is to also have things in here that is unique and beautiful and things like that, so I don't have to be like, oh, well, I gotta go back out here again. I will want to be out here. I will want to be able to see the different colors. I will want to see the different flowers in my garden and things like that, because it's something, you know, that I love to see, you know. And I really do like to garden. I don't ever want it to be to the point where I can't, where I don't like coming in here, because I really do enjoy it, and it's benefiting my family on top of that. I don't have a big space to work with. I don't have very many beds, and whenever I move, I'm not going to have very many beds. So I'm going to have to utilize my space as much as I can to be able to grow as much as I can. And I think that's attainable. Last year we grew a couple of different things, and we had enough tomato-based products. We just now opened up our last jar of ketchup, and maybe a week ago we used our last can of tomato sauce. So we did really good with that, and that was for a family of 10. So as long as I can at least grow the same amount as I did last year, but only for my family of 5 instead of Lacey's, then, you know, that will be enough for us for the year. And then if she does the same amount here, then that will be enough for her family. So that is very exciting to know and, you know, understand. And also, I want to be able to put up some in the freezer for, if I did run out, then I can go ahead and make that stuff and can it, you know, again, instead of, you know, just being done, you know. So I also want to do that. So, and another thing is that I want to try to eat more healthier. I don't eat healthy by any means. There's a lot of vegetables that I honestly do not like. Or I think that I don't like, should I say. I haven't tried a whole bunch of vegetables. So I want to be able to grow a couple of different things so I can see what I like and see how I can make it to where I will like it. And start incorporating more healthy items to our list of things that we're eating on a daily basis, because you know, we're only here for a certain amount of time, and I want to be the best me and be able to be as fit as I can and as healthy as I can while I'm here, and then maybe try to pass it on to my children and show them that, you know, it is good eating healthy and being a healthy person, where you can pass that down to the next person, your children or whoever it may be. So that's one thing. Also, not to mention, of course, there's so many different chemicals the store uses, so many different things that the store puts on your food, and the price. So I want to be able to provide that healthier option to my family, instead of going to the store all the time, relying on the store all the time. I want to try to do that as much as I can, as possible. I want to do that. Doesn't not mean that I will not rely on the store whatsoever, because there's some things I'm not going to grow because it's not worth my time. Or like corn, I'm not growing corn because it's too much space. It takes up way too much space than what, you know. So I will continue getting my corn from a local farmer like I did last year, and we still have corn to this day, and, you know, that will be fine. I won't have to worry about where I'm getting that. I won't be getting that from the grocery store. I'll be getting it from, you know, a local farmer, and I will try my best to try to source out other things locally or from maybe Azure, but I really want to try to focus on trying my best to find someone local who is able to provide me what I need in the amount that I'm needing to be able to put up for my family. So not everything I'll be able to grow. There might be a crop that I have growing in my garden, but might not do very good. So I want to be able to try to find somebody who can provide those items for me, and just in case. So like right now, I'm not planting onions, but when I cook with a lot of onions. But I have 2 beds of garlic over there. So that's still not going to be enough for all of us, but it is a start. But I'm going to need to source out some onions from somebody. So I need to be looking into that to try to see who I can get those things from. Because that's something that I use a ton. And it's also something that's very easy just to chop up, put in the freezer, and pull them out whenever you need them. And they, depend on the variety that you do decide to get, they do last in storage quite some time as well, which is a bonus. And that's another thing I want to try to do with this garden, is to try to be able to grow stuff that I can keep like over the winter and things like that as long as possible, so that we can still have that fresh goodness that we all love to eat. Then that's all the reason why we're doing a garden, is to have that fresh vegetable that is really yummy. So, and then with like berries, we're not going to be able to grow enough berries to be able to for our family for the whole year. But I do know a blueberry you pick and a strawberry you pick farmer in my area that I can go to be able to, you know, have that stuff for my family and put that stuff up for my family. And so we will eat fresh as long as we can, and as long as they're having it. And then we will also get some to freeze, so that whenever we do run out, then we can have the ones that are frozen to eat as well, or use in smoothies or anything like that. So it is just a good thing to know why you wanting to garden for that season. It always changes. Like whenever you garden, it can just be for enjoyment. Some years, you know, you might be burnt out one year, just want to do it for enjoyment. Or you might want to do it because of you want to cut down your grocery budget, or you want to do it because you want to be healthier and not have to depend on the store so much with their food and how they're doing it now. There's many different reasons, and each year it can change, and that is totally okay. It just depends on what you and your family need in that season of life, because let me tell you, it changes often, and it can be sometimes overwhelming to have to deal with. But you always need to be able to adjust different things in your life to be able to suit you in your life at that time. So like right now, I have a bunch of brassicas and stuff started, but I cannot plant those at my new house. I'm going to go ahead and plant them here for Lacey and a lot of the stuff that she'll go ahead and eat and have, and then I will just have to worry about that stuff on another time, because there's too much going on in this season. I'm moving, I'm packing, I'm trying to do all this stuff. So I have to, you know, tweak things a little bit so that I can also maintain my life, my family, and then my garden as well. So that is just a little food for thought. Always be thinking about why you're gardening and what you are needing to be able to do this. Even if you live like in an apartment and you have like a balcony or something like that, you can still always do something. Something is always better than nothing. You can do it in containers and different things like that, and it will still be just as good. And then if you really get really well at it, you can even like succession plant and still be able to provide yourself with at least a little bit of fresh eating for that time being. But if this is not something that you want to do, if you're like, oh, I don't want to grow food or anything, then try to search locally, like farmers that you can get your food from that is organic and not sprayed with a bunch of pesticides and all that other junk that you don't want on your food. Try and do that and see, you know, support somebody local to you. It's a big thing, you know. It's not just, you know, trying to be self-sufficient. You also have to worry about your community a little bit, you know, and who's there that you can benefit from or barter with, and vice versa, because like I said, things change, seasons change, and if you have a strong community and community that you can know that you can go to for different things that you might need, or they be able to come to you for something, then, you know, that builds a community. And if something was to go wrong, then I believe that that community will be there for you, and everybody will be doing their best to try to work together to be able to, you know, provide food and stuff like that for one another. So that is what I wanted to tell you guys, and my thoughts for my garden for this year. Also, since we will be moving, I think we're going to be moving around the 3rd week in March. So we still have a little bit of time, but I'm still trying to plan out and think about how I want my garden to be there, so that as soon as I move in, I can go ahead and start getting my dirt delivered and start planting stuff as soon as possible, so that I can take advantage of my season and be able to, you know, make the most out of it. Another thing is that I'm wanting to think about and maybe try to save my money for is a high tunnel. And then I'm gonna see if Lacey will allow me to put it on this property here, so that we can all benefit from the high tunnel, so we can grow around year round. We are in a climate where it never gets too cold here, and it doesn't stay cold for very long, so that we would be able to grow year round into a garden and not have to worry about what are we going to do about food, because we will always be able to grow something. So that is always the goal, along with trying to do our own meat, like chickens, and then source out our other stuff local. But that is about it, you guys. I hope you enjoy this little video, and always think about why you are gardening. It will make it special to you and unique to you. But don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.